50% of the time we already have made a decision in our brain. We are kind of using the logic to tell that to ourselves that this is actually a right thing. Well, the problem with this type of approach, when we just made something a decision, for example, you could have made the decision to buy this, and you're then saying to yourself, "Oh well, actually, this is really a good thing. This will really help me with this. It's good. It's not that expensive, and guess what? It's just a logic. You already have made the decision in your brain. You're just using the logic to justify that this is the right decision. The problem comes with this type of approach is that number one, the logic is cold-hearted. Logic does not consider anything. It's like a logic is like a cold-hearted murderer, or let's say cold-hearted what does it call it? Bodyguard who can kill anyone who will try to kill you, and that person is trying to kill could be any boy as well who's underage. So this is like a cold-hearted logic who don't care about anything. This type of logic, this logic will is completely different than our natural instinct, and so you're not getting the benefit of the logic because logic will say the truth that hey, is it a good thing or bad. Well, if the logic says it's no, it's not a good idea, then you're going to doubt that decision that, hey, should I do it or not? Should I do it? Should I not do it? This is the state we call as the overthinking, procrastination, and all that words. And this second thing, you're not going to get the benefit of your natural instinct. Sometimes the logic is not right. Your natural instinct is right. Whatever the natural instinct in our brain is telling us something inside of us that we should do this, well, you're not getting the benefit from that either because, as I said, it's like the logic is the cold-hearted logic. It's completely different than the natural instinct. Both are not the same. So you cannot put. It's kind of like putting a bull and a tiger on the same boat. It's not going to work. They are great animals who are extremely strong, but they should not be together on the same boat. A better approach to do all of this is the one I'll teach you in this video because decision is something you have to make constantly. Whether it's a decision for what to buy today, to which woman to have the children with, how many children to have in the future, which business you should get into. You have to make so many decisions. So it is better. You have to play this game anyway, decision making game. So why not just be good at it? It's like imagine just playing, firing the gun, playing the machine guns, Call of Duty and all those games. Imagine being in a war. Why not just learn to how to use these machine guns so that you can perform better, so that you can survive? It's the same situation that you are in. So first, let's talk about this. Even if you made like the most perfect decision, calculating everything, profit, loss, if the outcome is outside of your capabilities, the outside of your power, then you can't do anything about it. You might win, you might lose. If you avoid making the decisions because of this, guess what? The other people will make the decision for you. And decision making is a freedom. Like you get to choose between five, six different options. For example, I get to be choosing which job to get into. But if I don't make the decision, someone else make the decision for me. So I never have the freedom. I could have performed better in this field. Now in this field where it's my weak point. So you lose your freedom like that. If you don't make the decision, you lose your literal freedom. And the cost of freedom is literally high. Human body has 5,000 liters of blood. Cost of freedom is paid with blood and it requires a lot of blood. You could see in the history how much blood is lost. Just to give you the reference that just you can Google this one, how much blood a human body has. It's a 5,000 liters. If you kill like 1,000 people, I mean 1,000, 10,000 people easily die in a war. It's not big deal. Used to be big deal. So it's like thousands of liters of blood has been lost. So realize this: the cost of freedom is high, and if you stop making decisions, you'll have to pay that cost to get your freedom back. So it's never gonna work for you if you don't make decision because someone else will, and you lose your freedom like that. And here's one more part: if you constantly doubt your decision, that "Hey, is this the right decision? That did I did the right thing? Was it should I choose that? Should I choose this?" What will end up happening then is that the circumstances that you are in will make the decision for you. So you lose your freedom because decision making is a freedom. There's a saying: beggars are not choosers. Beggars are not choosers. Why? Because beggars are not the free people. Beggars, people who beg for money, food, because they don't have money, don't get to decide, don't get to choose how much money they can make throughout the day, how much what kind of food they can get. This is the beggars, and you don't want to be in this scenario because beggars are not the choosers. If you are a chooser, realize this that you are not a beggar, and if you stop making decisions, you become one. If you start doubting your decision constantly, you become one of them. So realize this that why is this so much important. Now let's talk about the decision making. How can you make a decision that is good for you? Well, there's only two circumstances. One, where you can control the things. Second, you cannot control the things. For example, if someone has his best friend died, can you control anything? He's dead. Yes, it's sad. It feels bad. Can you control anything? Can you just ask the God to bring him back to life? It's not possible. It's not practical. So this is the non-controllable and controllable. For both of them, the kind of decision you have to make is something you can be proud of. Why you can be proud of? Now, some people will call the pride a sin, but I'll address that as well. We make the decision, our instinct, when we make the decision with natural instinct, we make that on the basis of a pleasure. The issue with the pleasure is that the estimation is always wrong. It's always high. The pleasure we expect that we could get from watching this movie, well, you enjoyed the movie for 2 hours, was a good movie. It wasn't as good as you expected. The hype was just too high. Same for a fruit. Like some fruits, you ate it. Same for the junk food as well. You thought that this food will be really great. This junk food. You ate it and you are like, was good. Yeah, it's good. Not as good as shown in the commercial. We are actually bad at predicting how much pleasure can we get from this. If there was a one subject in which even the Asian will fail, one math question in which every Asian Indians will fail, that could have been calculating the amount of pleasures. Literally, even Indians could have failed in this. And you already know that the majority of the people on YouTube teaching maths are Indian and Asians in general. Even then, they could have failed. So, if you are watching this from some country which is not good at math, just know that you're not the worst person. Everyone is bad at predicting pleasure, and this is the issue. If you make the decision on the basis of a pleasure, it will never be the right decision because you can never get enough of that. If you make the decision, for example, to wake up and just scroll on your phone, that decision, yes, it is a wrong decision. Why? It's on the basis of a pleasure. You thought that it would be fun, it will give you a pleasure to scroll on your phone after waking up, but wasn't really that much fun anyway. So you need to first stop making the decision on a basis of pleasure, and second thing is start making the decision on a basis of guilt and proud. Now you need to make the decision for the proud to avoid the guilt. We as human beings are excellent at calculating the guilt and good at calculating the pride. Now the pride is sin, as I said, in a many like mostly Christianity and majority of the religion says that the pride is a sin. It depends on what kind of pride. Every doctor says that the cholesterol is bad. Let me tell you one thing. Testosterone in man and estrogen in women, because they are the hormones, they are made by cholesterol. Cholesterol is literally what makes testosterone. Are the testosterone something you want? Yes. Are the testosterone something good? Yes, we need for fertility. What makes them? Well, cholesterol. Is the cholesterol bad? This is where we have to say depends. Good cholesterol, which makes testosterone, is good for us. The bad cholesterol, which causes a health problem, is the one that is bad for us. Same goes for a pride. Now, the pride, if you say that the pride is bad, well, it will depend because the pride that you get from retaining your family after you build a successful business that makes a lot of money so that your mom, dad won't have to work. Well, that's a pride of building a physique from a gym, not taking the steroids or any other growth hormone or TRT and stuff, being natural, building that physique that you're proud of. Well, that's a pride. Are they bad things? Well, no. Having the pride, that is like the healthy pride. These are the healthy pride equivalent to healthy cholesterol. Now the issue is the pride that I said in the religion is bad for us is the pride of an empty ego. It's like the empty sugar. Will be something like let's say an employer, a company's boss has no gratitude towards his employees who is working hard for him. Yeah, they are working for a money, but he has no gratitude for them, and he's really an asshole to them. and everyone hates him for that. And he just has a proud this empty calories, or that his ego is empty, kind of like the empty calories version. That he just does whatever he wants. He curses the people. He don't consider anyone feeling. He's that kind of the villain that you will extremely hate, and chances are most of us have that kind of boss. So this is the bad cholesterol. This is the equivalent of bad cholesterol, the empty calories, empty sugar, white sugar. Now that is the pride that every religion talks about. That is actually bad for us. So we don't want this pride where you're just having empty calories. You're just so high up yourself. You think of you are the boss, you are the king, even though you achieve nothing in your life and you're broke. This is not what we want. This is the bad cholesterol. We don't want that. Now this is as simple as it can get. You don't need to read like entire book based on a pride is sin or whether it is not. It is as simple as that. You can use your own brain, logical brain for that. And also there's one more thing, that word changes over time. So there is a word called Mike or Meek, Meek actually. So you can search this online on Jordan Peterson Meek. So what he said that the word Meek was used to describe someone who is capable of violence, who is capable of killing people, strong, but he chose not to. He chose to be a good person. And modern day version of that is weak and weak. The weak we call is someone who is not capable of violence, who is a weak, who cannot lift the sword, who cannot lift the weight, who doesn't go to gym, and he's just pathetic. It's like complete garbage. So this is the complete different from what it was used to be. The word Mik, M-I-K, I think it was that. So this is the language change. Language changes over time. So if you just go back to the 90s, there would be some words that would be really common. Some racist words back in the days were extremely common and used a lot. I won't tell those words, but the word just got more violent now. So the word used back then, really a common thing, is like a severe case now. The language changes over time. The language is the medium we speak in. Like I'm speaking in English right now, it's just a medium, it changes. So if a word has a different definition, the same word 100 years, 1000 years later will not have the same definition. Because language is man made. Language is man made, just realize this. Now, the actionable step for decision making after you are still this far is the next time you make the decision, make sure that it is a decision that will make you proud. Ask yourself, will this make me feel guilty or not? If it will make you feel guilty, just don't make it. And majority of us can do that. We know what we need to be doing to make ourselves feel proud. For example, for me to make myself feel proud, I should be recording 4 videos right now. Well, will that make me feel proud? Yes. Is it possible for me? Kind of. But at least if I just keep on trying, like keep on recording here, it would at least be 3 videos. So it is something that will make me feel proud. What will make something that will make me feel guilty? Well, going on to YouTube and seeing what other YouTubers doing and calling it strategic planning, scouting, calling it productive. That will be. I know for a fact that it will make me feel guilty, and that is why here I am recording the video for my main channel. Will this make me feel proud? Yes. Is this a decision that I regret? No. And that's the important thing. Make a decision that you will not regret. You don't want to be that 75-year-old guy who has a regret that he chose the wrong woman to marry with, and he's not proud of his children and realize that he didn't raise his children properly. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be someone who's on his deathbed, because all of us are going to die, and thinking that actually my life was great. It wasn't the best as one of those influencers, but I'm proud of it. And it comes from the decisions that you make. We make the decisions, but at the end of the day, the decisions makes us. You could have heard of this quote. I don't know who made it, but it's a great quote, because the decisions we make in our day-to-day life, for which job to choose, which business to go into, which woman to marry, all of this will shape the type of person you become. Because your subconscious, here's one more thing, your subconscious, your brain, it's hard to get respect from yourself, your own self conscious, because to get a respect from someone, let's say you play football, and for you to get respect from someone else, other players would be that you just work very hard on that one day, and you just didn't take any break, you just constantly working, everyone respect you that yeah, he's a very hard working guy. But your own brain will know that you are just doing it to impress other people. You just lack of the 4 time this week, and you're just doing it to get respect, to get the appraisal of others, to just get the permission of others that you are not the weakest person. This is your brain already knows that. Okay? So it is hard to get the respect from your own brain. This is the hardest person to get the respect from is yourself, because your own self will know everything about you. The second hardest will be someone you live with. If you live with your parents, then the second hardest will be your brother, if you are a brother. Third hardest will be your dad, and the number one will be obviously your brain. Fourth could be your friends, and this is how the hierarchy is, because your brain knows that at which level of a person you are. Are you lying? You can't lie to your brain. You cannot lie here with everything. It can brain can see everything. Or both eyes, like if your these eyes are actually the part of our brain. So many people don't notice, but the brain here, we think the brain is here, but it is connected to the eyes. So our eyes is basically our brain. It's a science. It's a different story, but evolutionary our brain has came out of the skull in form of the eyes to be able to see the world, and it is applicable to all the animals. So you just can't lie to your brain. And when you start telling the truth to yourself, make you start making the decision that will make you proud, what will happen is that you will get a character development. You will see the boosted confidence. You will have the less anxiety. You will be that confident chat guy. Why? Because when you start making the decision that will make you feel proud, your own subconscious will think of you someone who's not a pussy, quite frankly. So most people have this gap between what they should be doing that will make them proud of themselves versus what they are doing. If you bridge this gap, if you close the gap, they don't have the anxiety, depression, confidence issues. This gap is the reason why your own brain is not supporting you. If you keep lying, your brain knows that you are lying. What that makes you is a liar to your brain. If you have a friend who constantly lies to everyone, including yourself, will you be continuing that friendship? You'll just, if you're stuck with him because he's in the same class as you, you'll be like, yeah, he's a loser. I don't respect him. He's just a loser. He's just a liar. I don't care. It's the same thing your brain does. He's the one who's stuck here. He won't respect you. And making the good decisions is how you train your brain. I mean, character. Because the better character you have, you get the character of a person that your own brain respects. So you get the respect from yourself, and this is when you see all this benefit of your own brain supporting you. Because right now most of us have the confident issues because our brain is not supporting us, and this is how you train our brain or our character or do the character development. To train our muscles, we go to the gym. To train our job skills, we go to internship. This is where we go to train our character decision making. So if you found the value from this video, make sure that you like and subscribe, algorithm thing, comment, and all these things. And at the end of the video, just remember, we make the decisions, but the decision makes us who we are.